All right, this was beginning Charleston, class number 1. We started off the class first finding the weight on our feet. So we talked about how you are going to have your weight forward on the balls of your feet. You're going to have the weight off of your heels, and you're going to have this forward disposition whenever you are dancing, so you can move in any direction. Then we did a whole bunch of stepping and kick stepping.
We learned the building blocks of your basic Charleston. So we started by walking around the room. We did every other beat, walk, walk, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we did every beat, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1 step per beat. Then we did some kicks, as kicks are a big part of your Charleston basic. So we started by talking about how kicks are small, they're right off the floor, and then we're going to change. We're going to kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick, step. We did singles, we did doubles, where we kick 2 on each leg, and then we change. So that looks like this: kick, hold, kick, step, kick, hold, kick, step, kick, hold, kick, and kick, hold, kick. And then we did front and back kicks, where we kick once to the front and once to the back, and repeat. So we had front and back, and front and back, and front and back, and then we did a double, 2 on the front, and then change sides, front and back, and front and back, and front and back, and a double, change sides. Next week we'll put those 3 things, the single kicks, the double kicks, and the front and back kicks, into a little sequence so that we can practice it at the beginning of class. Then we took those things and put them in the basic footwork.
So maybe we'll switch places for this. So in this video, I'm going to be leading and Jen's going to be following. So leads follow me, follows follow Jen. We took an element of each piece Jen just described and we put it into our basic, we're calling it our 1930s Charleston basic. First we did 2 steps. Leads are starting on the left, follows on the right. We did a step, step. Then we did a kick, step, and then we did a front and back kick. Front and back, and then a step at the end. So it looked like this: rock, step, kick, step, front and back step. Rock, step, kick, step, front and back step. Rock, step, kick, step, front and back step. Talked about how it goes in a back and forward. So we're actually moving in a little slot on the floor. So it goes back and forward, forward and back. Back and forward, forward and back. And as we're doing this basic, we're on the balls of our feet the whole time, and with a little bit of this forward disposition in our bodies, so we're not kicking our shoulders back, but we're forward. We did that a whole bunch. Maybe we should we didn't talk about arms in class. We're going to talk about next week, but maybe we just briefly mention arms. So if you're at home practicing and you're wanting to add your arms in, maybe you can just add that. So whenever you do that rock step, we're going to do opposite arms. So we are crossing that same foot you're doing rock step with, you're using that arm to go across your body. Okay, and then you're going to switch it. So you go here, and here, and here, and here. So arms go across every time you do that rock step. So you go cross, 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 cross. Again, that's something we'll work on next week, but if you're practicing at home and want to do that, there you go. Then we made a little sandwich. We talked about using your kick steps to move around the room. Well, maybe I back up 1 step for folks who weren't there. We talked about connecting with our partner. So we have this connection here. Actually, let's do the basic again. I moved ahead 3 steps. So we connected with our partner. These are going to have a wide open hand in the middle of their partner's back, and follows are going to connect all the way down through this arm. Then we did our basic. Rock, step, kick, and kick, step. Rock, step, kick, step, and kick. We did an exercise where we kept that connection with our partner. We moved around the room. Leads. The key thing for you to know is that if you keep your hand right beside you when you take a walk, you want to make sure that arm goes with you, and your follow is going to try to stay connected to that hand with their back. So we walked around the room. We walked forward, we walked back, we walked in a circle, and the goal was to try to see if the follow could stay really connected to that lead, nice steady arm and hand on their back, so we could stay together. Then we did that same thing with kick steps. So we kick stepped around the room. Rock step, kick step, kick step, kick step, boom, step, step. See that? Doing the same thing where we're just having this intention of moving forward with those kick steps. Then we did a little Charleston sandwich. We did 1 basic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we did kick, starting with a rock step, some kicks forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 count kick, and right on back to our basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From the side, that would look like this. Basic Charleston, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then those kicks forward, 4, 5, da, da, 2 count kick, back to our basic Charleston again. So we put on some music and had you guys play around with those. You don't need to do that exact pattern. You could do as many of those basic Charleston steps and then move with it with your kick steps and then go back to the basic. But just could get that feeling of not only practicing your 1930s basic, but also moving with it.
I had some follows come up after class asking about how do you know when that kick forward is over and you're going back into the basic. And the simplest answer is that when you're doing the kick forward, the momentum is moving forward. But right here on this 2 count kick, that's where the momentum is going to change to go backwards, and you're going to feel that rock step. Now you don't know what's going to happen next. It could be the basic, or it could be another kick forward or kick up. So you're going to have to pay attention after that rock step, or is it going to continue forward, or is it going to be a basic? And you're just going to have to pay attention and be okay with not knowing. Oh, bye. Be okay with not knowing what's about to happen and just stay with your lead. And every time there's a transfer of weight, you're going to go with them.
I think that was it.
That's it.
If you weren't in class tonight, I'd say the thing to really focus on is just getting that basic step on your own. Lead starting on the left, follows on the right. That 1930s basic to get ready for next week. That's it. You guys did a great job.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.